Stay tuned as we take a look at this Marvel Legends Demogoblin Wave Spider-Man in his Velocity suit. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Demogoblin Build-A-Figure Wave, and we're starting off with the Gamerverse figures. Now, I wasn't massively excited to hear that we're getting Gamerverse figures, but now I have them in hand, I quite like the idea of them. So obviously I played the Spider-Man game on PS4, but I virtually played with the same suit the whole way through the game. I didn't really try any other suits, but I do like the design of this Velocity suit. So in the game, obviously the Velocity suit had its own ability, which I believe was the Blitz ability, which means you could sort of run through everyone and everyone would sort of bounce off you. Not too sure, but that's the gist of it. But I do like the design from the game itself, and I like the idea of building my own sort of Spider-Man Hall of Armor in my collection. Now it comes with a nice new accessory that was not seen before, and then also the Build-A-Figure piece for the Demogoblin, and it's also in the Gamerverse box. So we don't even get any Marvel Legends logos on the front, we just get the Gamerverse, and I do believe we're going to be seeing this logo a lot more this year. On the side we're getting a picture from the Velocity suit. On the back we get a little write-up that reads, Peter Parker enhances his spider suit with speed boosting technology to become Velocity Suit Spider-Man. And then, as always, we get a list of all the figures. In this wave, you need to complete the Demogoblin Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Velocity Suit Spider-Man. And I like how these two are in the white sort of background borders compared to the rest of the comic wave in the black. But yeah, a nice touch. Very curious to see this out of packaging. So without further ado, let's open him. And here we have Spider-Man out of the box in his Velocity suit, of course. And even though I had no desire to get this figure at all, I really like it. It's like a futuristic Spider-Man, sort of like Spider-Man sort of meets Iron Man, if you will. Yeah, I really like it. So before we take a closer look at the figure and the details, he does come with the Build-A-Figure piece, a leg, in fact, for the Demogoblin. So you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, come back, check out the playlist, all of that good stuff, as I will be reviewing the Demogoblin last. He also comes with an accessory that you're not going to be able to see very well against the white background, so maybe I'll get some black background out to show off this, as I do quite like it. It's a new accessory, not seen this anywhere before, and it's sort of meant to go over the villains like that, so it looks like they've been webbed up. So I do actually quite like that. It's all one piece, it just sort of fits over the head and the shoulders. So I'll try that off with a villain on a black background so you can see that better. But I'll move that to the side for now, and let's take a closer look at this Velocity suit. So here's a closer look, and you can see my light shining off the plastic there, as they've gone for a very much a gloss finish. But I do really like the paint job. It's very clean and crisp, and all these lines are very neat. It's all sculpted in as well. So this lighter blue piping is actually sculpted on the figure, so the paintwork is actually nice and crisp and clean. Goes all the way down to the legs, and you can follow it all the way around to the back. And again, this spider logo is sort of sculpted on there, so you can feel it risen. And yeah, very clean paint job, and I like the sort of candy red and then the blue contrasting, very nice. Yeah, all over the figure. I've only got one little paint blemish, nothing major, but it's just there, just above the articulation there. Nobody's fault, but that's a little bit frustrating. In regards to hands, every Spider-Man figure should come with multiple hands for posing. This one doesn't. It does come with a swipping hand and a punching hand. Now, they're very nice. Again, there's some decent sculpting on the hand and decent paintwork on both of them, but we should get more options for our Spider-Man figures. I guess trying to find the positive out of that is at least we got one swipping hand for Spider-Man, as we should, but still, Hasbro know better. Please give us multiple hand for Spider-Man. You know the score. But yeah, I like the helmet as well. Again, it does look like a hybrid of like Iron Man / Spider-Man, but it is a high-tech version. And Peter Parker, he does have Parker Industries these days, so I'm not surprised he's got all this fancy tech. But yeah, the articulation's hidden well with amongst the sculpt of the design. So you're definitely going to be able to get this guy in some decent Spider-Man poses, but I'm not the guy to go to for that type of thing. But yeah, it's looking really good. So very quickly on the black background, the Jackal has volunteered himself to be a victim of the new spider web sort of accessory. So as I said, it literally just goes over the villain's head, even Jackal's crazy ears, and rests on the shoulders, and you can have it look like he's been webbed up. It's as simple as that. So it's like Spider-Man can web him up, and you can pose your villains on the floor, all webbed up, or however you want. Again, you just get him swept by Spider-Man, and he's all webbed up. So yeah, I do actually like the accessory. It's unique, and you can actually use it to be displayed. And I always like effects and accessories that demonstrate powers or abilities of a certain character. And we're yet to get some funky spiderweb designs. So this is quite good. You can actually pose a figure captured by Spider-Man. So yeah, I like it. So I do think this is all new sculpt. I can't think of anywhere this has been used before. I do think it's all unique to this particular character design. So that is where Hasbro spent the money in this wave, I believe. So let's compare him to the original PS4 Spider-Man that we got with Marvel Legends. This is the Gamerverse PS4 Spider-Man, of course. And he is a tiny little bit taller, and he does sort of suffer from a fat head syndrome, this one. I don't know why. But yeah, it looks like this suit should be as bulky as that one, but this one's actually more streamlined than this one, and this is meant to just be normal spandex, I suppose. So they don't quite match up perfectly, but you can fudge it. Obviously, no one's going to notice on the display, but still, it does look like as a sort of armor-ish suit, this one should be a bit bulkier than the original suit, just in my opinion. But as we bring in the classic Spider-Man, it definitely looks bulkier than that one. So this is obviously the Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know what I'm talking about. And then we also have the Amazing Spider-Man with the unmasked Peter Parker head. And I'll bring in, not very good on the white background, but it is the updated Spider-Man 2099 body. So now we have all of these on display. And yeah, your Spider-Verse is going to look really good. Or you can make a Peter Parker Hall of Armor if you really wanted to, with all these Spider-Man outfits. But let's try this unmasked head on this new suit. So the head pops off nice and easy. This head comes off, and it's hopefully, there you go, I actually fit right on there. So the neck looks a little bit big, but it does pop on the head. So maybe you could Dremel it and push it down if you wanted to display a Peter Parker like this. Because even though this is not a technically PS4 Peter Parker head sculpt, it could work. And obviously, because it's a more futuristic suit, you could get him holding the helmet just like Iron Man maybe. But yeah, you've got options for your display for your Spider-Verse shelves for sure. So as I mentioned 100 times, I am not the guy you go to see posing on action figures, but you can get him running on one foot, doing his blitz ability, just like the PS4 game. And yeah, I just really like the look of this figure. Again, I had no excitement or anticipation for these Gamerverse figures, but now I've got them in hand, I'm liking the look at them. So they're off to a good start. I've still got the other one to open, of course. But I'm very curious to see what you think. Are you a fan of Hasbro giving us these Gamerverse sort of skins and suits from the PS4 game? Are you interested to see some more? If so, what suits do you want to see in figure form? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts as always, as I'm sure a lot of you have played that game and completed it. So what suits, because there's a lot of unique designs in there which are very nice and would look very cool as figures. What PS4 Gamerverse suits would you like to see in figure form? Let me know in the comments below. But most importantly, make sure you stick around for all of the other reviews in this wave and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much as always, and if you want to support the channel that little bit more, you can head over to Patreon at Dan Who Reviews and support the channel that way. But until then, people, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, are you interested in more PS4 Gamerverse figures? Curious to hear your thoughts. And my name's Dan W, and I shall see you on the next one.